Hi, it's Paul. Lie angles are one of the most critical components of getting a club fitting fine-tuned and correct. They're also one of the components that are misdiagnosed the most often and are adjusted wrong the most often. So stay with me. I'm going to do a brief explanation on what lie angles do, how they play a role in our ball flight, and then I'm going to talk to you about how they are misdiagnosed and why some of the methods used are not very good. And then I'm going to give you some examples of my swing and my ball flight and showing you how those misdiagnoses can lead to a really bad ball flight and can make it hard for you to actually gain the ball flight that you want. So to begin with, the lie angle is the relationship between the sole of the club and the angle of the shaft. So this angle right here coming down to ground is the lie angle. And when that's wrong, your ball flight has a really hard time starting on the line that you intended. So I'm going to talk to you as a right-handed golfer. Anything I say can be applied the opposite for a left. So using this diagram, we can see that when my club toe is pointed up in the air, the face angle orients itself to the left. And when it's pointed down, the face angle orients itself to the right. Now this is not an open or closed club face. This is the club face being tilted and oriented left or right because it's on an angle. And when it's on an angle and you tilt it, the center changes position. So toe down, ball would tend to fly to the right. Toe up, ball flies to the left. Theoretically, dead flat neutral, the ball is going to fly straight. And this diagram assumes that the swing and the club face were square. And we're going to get into that a little bit also. So I'm going to go over a couple of methods that show you how these are misdiagnosed at the moment of fitting or in a correction, or why you shouldn't be concerned about so much. And hopefully you can understand a little bit better and it'll prevent you from making mistakes with your clubs that cause problems. The first thing that causes people to misdiagnose or set up a lie in an incorrect position is that the client comes to them and says, I'm sitting up at address and my toe is up in the air at address and I need it to be down level so that it has the right angle. So if I have a club and it's sitting toe up at address position, that is not taking into consideration how much this bows down. Now you imagine you're swinging that at 85 or 88 or 90 miles an hour, how much deflection there is. Determining your lie angle or adjusting it to match the ground at a static address position serves no benefit and doesn't consider in the ball flight. So that's a no-no. Probably the most common way to do lie angle for most people is to use impact tape and a lie board. So you tape up the sole of the club and you hit off a lie board, which is usually a carbon board or a fiberglass board, and it leaves a mark on the tape. And that shows you where the club was impacting. Was it impacting in the middle? Was it out on the toe or the heel? And then based on that, you would make a lie adjustment. Now, the reason that this is misdiagnosed so often is because the fitter or the golfer or both are determined to present a dead neutral lie angle. They say, look, your lie angle is perfect here at impact. This is exactly what we want. And they ignore the ball flight. And I'll be clear on this. Lie angle adjustment or setting of a lie angle is only for one purpose. It's to enhance or correct a ball flight. It has no other purpose. Having a reading or showing a tape that shows that the lie angle is perfect on the bottom has no importance whatsoever if you don't get the ball flight that you want. Now, if we refer to this picture, we can see here's a club that was set up in a clamp, so all I did was rotate the club face. The shaft never changed, but look at the difference on those score lines from the one on the left, which is parallel, and then when I turn the toe in and close the club face and don't change the lie angle at all of a sudden now it is showing that the lie angle is way down on the toe. So that's not necessarily a good way to do an adjustment or to determine what you should be, because as your club opens and closes, the mark will go from toe to heel, and this has not changed a bit. So now I'm going to hit a few shots. I'm going to intentionally hit my normal shot. I'm then going to extremely close in the club face, and let's see what that lie angle reading does and see if I was to make an adjustment based on either one of those, what it would do. And then I'm going to explain why my clubs are set up the way they are and how they help complement my shot shape and the swing that I like to make. My normal shot would be a push draw, slightly out to the right, come back to center. So here's the chart for that shot. There's my lie angle on the bottom left-hand corner. It's showing 0.9 degree down on the toe. So 0.9 degree flat, almost 1 degree flat. Not a big deal, but still, it's down and it could require an adjustment if we were looking at trying to get to perfect level. I'm going to let the toe close over. I'm going to try and keep my swing exactly the same as far as everything else. Just let the face close. So this should send it very far left. Okay, so this last one, that's a great example. The ball screamed off to the left. My swing path was very similar. My angle of attack was very similar. But when I close the club face, the toe turns in and it actually becomes lower because it's turning in. So what happened was my lie angle went from kind of neutral to almost 5 degrees down. Now, there's a great example on the last shot. It's showing almost 5 degrees toe down. Now, I would not ever go to the client and say, you know what, we're 5 degrees down, we need to bring that up 5 degrees to get neutral, because the ball flight was extremely left, and bringing that toe up is going to orient the club face more left. Now, when I look at the ball flight like that, I know that that was a bad swing. So I'm going to ask the client to make some more swings, and if they stay with that ball flight and it doesn't change, well, then we need to deal with the swing on why the club is closing so much. And this is where being an instructor and a fitter together complement each other, because I'm not going to just go and work with the swing, and I'm not going to just work with the equipment and changing it up to present a better number or a better impact rating. So we would make sure that this client got his swing under control a little bit before making any significant decisions on what we do with equipment. Now, why are my clubs set up the way they are? Well, I like to start the ball slightly to the right because I have an inside-out swing and it curves the ball to the left. So I set up very slightly to push my ball out to the right, and the easiest way to do that is to have my club face slightly oriented right. Now, I didn't say open the club face. I'm tilting the toe down so it orients right very slightly. And I'm going to send the ball out to the right, bring it back to the middle so that I'm never moving away from the target line. So in order to do that, I have found that my club, when it's presented at about 1 to 2 degrees down at impact, gives me that. But in order to be 1 or 2 down at impact, I have my club set about 1.5 degrees upright so that the deflection will bring them down to where I want. Now, this is fine tuning, but this is what lie angle is. It's fine tuning. That allows me to keep my inside out swing that moves the ball and curves it left and is very dependable, and I like it and it's comfortable. It allows me to keep that swing path without having to manipulate the club face. If I presented my club at a little bit more neutral, my ball is going to start closer to center and that curve is going to move it away from center. So for me, I have discovered and found out through testing and trial and error that that works best for me. And that's what lie angle is. It's finding what works best for you to present you with a ball flight that you like and that's repeatable. And instead of just working with trying to get a lie angle that works perfect and is reading 0-0 and has no regard for the ball flight, we focus on ball flight because ball flight is the only thing that matters. Nothing else in golf matters besides the ball flight. I hope that explained lie angle a little bit more to you. I hope that helped you understand why your clubs could be misdiagnosed and that we only want to see ball flight. I have no concern or interest in what a reading is telling me if it ignores the ball flight. Thanks again for watching. I'm Paul Kelly.